If you like money and fantasy football, you're going to love this free offer to make money with DraftStreet.com. In fact, you've got a chance to win my money because I'm running a $300 league today where the top 7 finish in the money. Hi guys, Al DeMarco here, and today you'll be competing against my team and amongst yourselves to win my money. Fantasy sports have changed over the years, making them more lucrative. No more waiting to get paid at the end of the season. With DraftStreet.com, you get instant gratification. Here's the deal. Go to DraftStreet.com right now. Enter this code, DeMarco, my last name. That's going to get you access to my league today. Entry costs absolutely nothing. It's free to play for a shot at winning my money. You have a $100,000 salary cap to draft your team. You've got until the 1 p.m. Eastern Time kickoffs to set your roster, and the winners will be determined when the Monday night game is over. Remember, the top 7 finish in the money with my $300 at stake. Go to DraftStreet.com, use the passcode DeMarco, build your team now. Welcome back, everyone, to the Countdown to Kickoff show. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin. We'll pick it up with our ATS analysis of every game on your NFL card today, starting with the Lions game at home against the Vikings. But first, want to talk about fantasy football. You know, every week this season, we've been running a free contest where we've been putting $300 of my money up for grabs with the top 7 finish in the money, and that contest, of course, being run over at DraftStreet.com. We're doing it again today, guys, and again, all you have to do is use my last name, DeMarco, over at DraftStreet.com, or if you go to our site and you see the ads, you click through, you enter my last name, DeMarco, and guys, that will get you entry into the contest. And unlike traditional old school, and really that's what it is, old school rotisserie league, fantasy league stuff, here you get instant gratification with the contests that we're running.
And that's why guys like me and you never were interested in fantasy before. And all of a sudden this year, for the first time, we're pumping fantasy on this show like it's going out of style. And the reason is it's finally action-oriented. Finally, week in and week out, you get to choose your squads and win or lose your money. I think it's helped immensely with fantasy. I think we're seeing more gamblers make the conversion now over to fantasy because of it. And DraftStreet.com does it better than anyone else.
You know, and it's a contest that's run every week. And the great thing with DraftStreet.com and the contests we're doing here, they're games of skill. Totally legal, guys. You're not dealing with some foreign entity either. You have until 1 o'clock Eastern Time today to finalize your roster. You get a $100,000 bankroll. You've got to pick a couple of quarterbacks, a couple of running backs, a couple of wide receivers, a tight end, etc. It takes you less than 5 minutes, guys, to draft your team. And then the contest is over right after the Monday night game. That's the instant gratification part. I know last week, looking here at the results, we had another really, really close contest. A guy with the username Marty Marr finished with 171.16 points. Corey K, actually. Corey K, 82, had 173.7 points. Marty Marr, 171.1, 2.5 points out of the money. And Steve Budin here, I might as well give him props. First time this year he finishes in the money, finishing 4th last week. Just another couple of points back.
Hey, if you bet me on the teaser, I won.
Yeah, there you go. Again, guys, it's DraftStreet.com. Use my last name, DeMarco, to enter the contest. $300 of my money at stake. It's free for you to enter. The top 7 finishers finish in the money. And again, that's over at DraftStreet.com. Instant gratification.
Yeah, and if I can finish in the money, so can you, obviously. Remember to go to DraftStreet.com. Just like you're a new customer and open up an account, they'll prompt you for a code. Use the code DeMarco, and it'll take you right to the contest page where for free you can enter with a chance to win up to $300.
It just kills me, though, when he finishes in the money.
I know it does!
But, and FYI, I did finish in 52nd place.
Yeah!
You know, hey, I was like 2nd or 3rd the week prior, so you can't win them all. Hey, guys, let's pick it up now with Detroit and Minnesota. And let me just remind you, if you missed any portion of today's show, you can catch it in its entirety on our website, it's that easy, anytime, 24/7. Steve, the Lions in a must-win situation here, 2-5 straight up after a 5-0 start, but I say you've got just what the doctor ordered with a visit from Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely, and if you think the Lions have lost their luster just because they lost the last 2 weeks, you have to realize they were playing against offensive teams that were better than them. But everyone else in the league, they're better than on offense. They should have no problem here against Minnesota, but I will take that extra a point insurance and buy this one down to right around a touchdown. This way, no surprises at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a little concerned that Detroit's giving up 32.5 points the last 4 weeks, but then again, you'll have to look at the offensive juggernauts they've been playing here of late. So even though they've struggled, I think the key in this contest, Minnesota can't stop the pass, 26th in the league in terms of pass defense. Opposing quarterbacks giving up 68 or completing 68% of their passes against the Vikings this year, and that's just great news when you're Matthew Stafford, because that secondary of the Vikings have already been scorched for 24 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. So it doesn't matter how many sacks the Vikings get. That's just a number because the secondary's out there on an island upon itself.
Yeah, when you come to this time of the year, motivation plays such a big role. And you got to ask yourself, how motivated can Minnesota be at this point? I mean, they really brought a great game last week, but for them to finish out the year, every game tough, I think it's too much to ask. I like Detroit here.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly in that one. Next game we want to take a look at is going to be your contest between New England and Washington. Listen, 2 different games last week, as I pointed out earlier. Patriots were up 31-3 against the Colts. They were laying 20.5 points. They relaxed in the fourth quarter. The Colts scored 3 touchdowns. That's not the Patriots you're going to see here. Patriots defensively, they give up a lot of yards, but they're only giving up like 20, 21 points a game. Washington had a couple of suspensions levied against key players this week. I thought the Redskins could win last week at home against the Jets. They fumbled the ball. So they don't get any more support from me. I would definitely go with Belichick and the Patriots in this one. They've covered 8 of their last 11 on the road against the NFC, and I think they're the play if you're going to play it here.
Yeah, and I think there's got to be a little bit of embarrassment in New England right now with the way they just, let Indianapolis score on them in the fourth quarter last week. I think they come out here guns blazing. I think they light up Washington like a Christmas tree. I'm not a big fan of Washington. I'm going to lay the 8.5 points here with Brady.
I mean, the Patriots gave up 299 yards and those 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter last week. And Bill Belichick said, he wasn't happy. He wanted to see his team close them out. You can't close out the Colts at home. That's troublesome, especially when you've only got 4 weeks left in the NFL
May want to take a second look out at the over here, 48 points. I think New England scores a ton of points. They give up a ton of points. That's a recipe for an over, if you ask me.
I mean, Patriots have gone over in 24 of their last 31 games, and the Redskins have gone over in 3 in a row as well. Next game is going to be my fraud team, the Atlanta Falcons. But, guys, here's the surprise. After ripping them earlier, I'm telling you now, I think the Falcons are the play here today.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Why? What's wrong?
Now I'm off of them. I mean, I finally learned my lesson last week.
Well, that was last week.
You don't bet Atlanta on the road. You know what I mean? And now they're on the road against Carolina. I was coming with my big speech. I figured you're going to back me, and now you threw the double reverse on me. I can't win with you.
Well, I want to remind you what you said last week. Steve, you're letting the week prior affect your analysis in this game, but that's the problem here.
Thank God for the Baltimore Crew.
The Falcons are 15-3-1 against the spread their last 19 games after a straight-up loss. But forget about that just trend. You look at the dynamics here. Carolina defense, it's non-existent. Don't be fooled that they beat up 2 bad teams here the last couple of weeks to win. This is a team that lost its last home game to Minnesota, a team that, matter of fact, has lost its last 2 home games, lost to Tennessee 30-3 as well. I think that the Falcons will be able to run the ball. I think the Falcons will be able to contain Cam Newton as they did in the first meeting. They held him to 50 yards rushing and picked them off 3 times, twice in the fourth quarter, rolled 31-17 at home. The dynamics are here, and I think the Falcons are the play. I'd buy down the half point on them.
I'm a Cam Newton fan at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Liked him last week. I like him this week. I hear everything you're saying. It makes a lot of sense, but I'm staying with Carolina plus the points at home.
And we will be telling him I told you so next week.
We will see.
Hey, guys, again, remember, you can go over to draftstreet.com, either through our site or directly. Use my last name, DeMarco, and that will get you entered into our fantasy football contest. $300 of my money at stake. The top 7 finish in the money. And again, if you missed any portion of today's show, you can catch it in its entirety online. For those of you watching us on DirecTV or on Dish Network or on Vegas TV, remember, go over to the website and you can get the final segment of this show, or in Fox Sports as well. In fact, you can get the final segment of the show where we're going to be taking a look at San Francisco, Arizona, and of course the Sunday night game between the Giants and the Cowboys. Great game there. For Steve Budin, Al DeMarco, week number 14, the Countdown to Kickoff show. This is it, guys. Again, head over to our site online to catch our final segment and your final games today. Catch you next week.